You see more and more snow on the ground as you trudge up the hills. Winter is coming. A wooden rampart towers above you in the distance. 2 ballistas can be seen inside 2 towers. You see several soldiers patrol the well-lit battlements. Again.
I point up at the ballistas. I'd rather not get skewered by one of those if I can avoid it.
Priscilla then adds, all the wiser decision that we made to not make a frontal assault, but rather an infiltration.
I'm just gonna look over at Rex. Would you be willing to play the bad guy and chase us, but keep far enough that they can't hit you, hopefully?
And Rax turns to you. He eyes you. He's looking at you. And he says, only if you give your word, your sworn promise, that you will do everything in your power to recover our supplies that they stole and recover the infant that they kidnapped. Only if each of you gives your absolute promise. Will you do it?
Of course. We'll get you your stuff back, and I'll make sure nothing happens to that child if we can help it.
Yeah, sure. Which is more important for you guys? Your infant or your supplies?
They're both so important. The supplies will make it so that we don't starve with the winter. We don't have to ration. And the infant is
Very infant.
so important. You're like losing a brother.
I give my word that we will try our best to save the infant and get the supplies. If we are late for the infant,
That's not
then
good
we'll
enough,
be-
Balake. He responds, I need your absolute word.
I give you my absolute word. We will save the infant and get you your supplies.
Thank you. And their eyes turn to Priscilla.
Over many decades have my arts of swordsmanship have been owned, and so too my acts of diplomacy. But I will say, it's not like me to be totally dishonest. You can be assured I will do everything in my power to bring you back those supplies and the child both, without nary a scratch.
And with that regal way of saying it, he's going to put his arm on your shoulder, Priscilla. He's going to say, I trust you. And he's going to get prepared to chase you guys. Balake has donned the guard's clothes. Kenneth has donned the guard's clothes. Priscilla and Harm are in their regular clothes.
Yeah.
You prepare the chase in the pitch dark. You have no torches lit. You're several hundred feet from the entrance of the fortress.
I suppose I'd better shrug off my pack if I want to make it look realistic. I'm gonna kind of drop my pack in the bushes.
Are we ready? Rax says.
Yeah, as ready as we'll be.
I'll go ahead, and since it's dark, I actually do have one torch. I want to light it to make it a bit easier for us to see and for them to notice us a bit faster.
Got it. 200 feet from the fortress entrance. You begin your mad dash toward the entrance. 30 feet behind you, the lizard folk follow. A torch is lit in Balake's hand. You're charging up. As you do, you hear a scream from the top of the battlements, pointing at you guys. Who goes there? They shout.
It's Vlad, you idiot. We're being chased by the villagers. Either let us in or help.
Flash.
Thunder.
Okay. And they're going to open the gates. And now I want Balake and Priscilla to roll a d20 for me.
A D20, you got it.
Fire! As 2 guards on top of the battlements fire the ballistas at the lizard folk. One of them misses, the other one will hit.
Oh.
And a startled scream comes from the lizard folk brothers behind you as they run as fast as they can away. And I want Kenneth and Harm to roll me another d20, please. This time at disadvantage. One of the lizard folk has been skewered by that arrow. And you guys, the gates are open. Come in, come in! The guards shout in. As you go through the gates, they close the gates behind you. You see,
Did you move your character real quick or no?
Yeah, I'm lagging a little bit. I'm able to move it, but it moves like after I click it.
Okay, gotcha.
gates are closed right behind you. You enter the fortress. There are cooking fires lit. There are several tents. There's also a cart here with many supplies in there. It looks like Crocodile is in there. There's also another cart with an iron cage. And a warrior with splint mail is quickly approaching you guys. He's eyeing you from head to toe. A burly man in worn splint mail walks up to you. Looking you from head to toe, he scoffs. In a demeaning tone, he introduces himself. Seeing as I don't know you by name, you must be a new recruit. He points at Valake, and he points at Kenneth. Who are these two? Pointing at Harm and Priscilla.
Priscilla points to the disguised Valake and says, "This one is known as Vlad. That was the last name that I heard." Now,
I didn't ask you, Drow. I'm talking to the recruits.
I mean, Fremont, they got in this awful weather.
I know you're out of breath. Calm yourself and then speak in a clear tone. I will brook no disrespect in this fortress. You know how the boss is. Now, who are these two and why have you brought them here? He points at Valake. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yes, my name is Vlad. The other guard here is Georgie. We're the last two surviving of the last group that brought the remaining cart with no horse. We found this noble and her guard actually in the trading post trying to keep a actually trying to warn the lizard of us. We managed to capture them, but the problem is they caught wind and gave chase. The noble, she's actually worth a lot of money. She's part of a very noble family. I don't know. I don't ask. I just know that she's wealthy, and she's probably her family's willing to pay a hefty price to get her back.
A hostage, I see. And she looks over at Priscilla. Priscilla, do you have manacles on?
manacles? No, she's not wearing manacles. But like after Valake said that, she says, "That's not what you promised. You promised me safe harbor away from those brigands. I was not aware that I was going to be held hostage. This is so indignant."
I scowl and raise an eyebrow, crossing my arms.
Are they guests or hostages? Speak now.
I think they are opportunity.
Are they what?
Opportunity. Opportunity.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
Priscilla, roll a d20 for me.
Oh, Priscilla?
Yes. And I want you to roll high, if you can.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Archers! And you see the archers on top come at attention, and they're pointing their arrows at you guys. Vlad, Georgie, take these two hostages to the cages. And seeing as you're new here, let me give you some advice. The name is Corcus, and you better remember it. I'm the captain of the guard here. Second in command, only superior person is the boss. So whatever I say, you do.
I'm going to step forward.
What is it, kid?
I was a prisoner once. I've been to a labor camp. I don't intend to do anything like that again. What do you intend to do with us?
He looks you up and down. What do you look like?
6 feet tall, some very defined shoulders and bare arms. There's a great sword slung across my back, and I've got kind of some scars on my skin. About maybe look like I could be between 17 and 20 years old, but pretty tall, and I guess that's pretty much the description.
You sound like a promising recruit. It's too bad you chose the losing side. Or are you willing to switch allegiances? He points
I'll
at
join
Priscilla.
you if it means avoiding a cage. But I have to protect my master here.
So you're sticking by your master's
solution.
side. I see. It's us or him. You choose.
I look at the rest of the group. How's everyone else reacting to this?
Priscilla is looking, like, despite her performance earlier, is looking pretty focused as to how the situation will go. She looks ready to spring into action at any given time.
I cock my head at Priscilla, like as if trying to like non-verbally communicate something.
And what is that? What are you trying to communicate?
Well, I can't. We don't have telepathy, so you don't know.
Priscilla makes eye contact with you, Harm, and just gives it a nod in affirmation. Wherever you go, whatever you do, she'll help.
At the nod, I say, sure, I don't want to be on the losing side. Everyone wants to live. I'm gonna step over next to the guard and face everyone else, keeping my arms crossed and scowling.
You chose the right side. What's your name, son?
My name's Harm.
My name's Corcus, and you better remember it if you know what's good for you.
I nod.
Now, weaklings and losers camp outside in the tents. Warriors are allowed into the citadel. You receive an emblem on your uniform when you earn that distinction. He points over at Balake and Kenneth. He squints his eyes for a second. Those two are clearly losers. But what are you?
I don't like to lose.
Is that all you have to say for yourself?
I like to fight.
Prove it. Prove you're a warrior.
I draw the sword. I take the sword from the strap and rest the point on the ground. You wanna spar?
Sure. Let's spar. He takes out his long sword and short sword. Give me one attack. Whoever scores higher, give me one attack. Whoever scores higher will win. Your swords clash, and you knock his sword aside. Well struck. Do you have experience as a soldier in the army?
Yeah, I served under the company of One Eye a couple years, most of my life, to be honest. I've been to war, if that's what you're asking. I've been in battles. Enjoy it.
You're a promising new recruit. And he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "You got guts, kid. You're what makes this nation great. I look forward to your promising career in our ranks. I just have one last question for you before I give you this new uniform. You over there, pass the uniform out." And he points to one of the guards on battlements, and they rush off to get a uniform for you. "Your master over there. It seems you change allegiances quite easily. How do I know you won't change allegiances again? Prove it to me, and you shall be a new fresh recruit."
I can't prove that. If you were weak, I wouldn't be on your side. Are you weak? I chuckle.
Do you want me to kill you?
You're welcome to try. I don't intend to die.
You got guts, kid. I'll give you that. All right. Until further notice, you're not to guard this opportunity over there, pointing at Priscilla. Until then, you're welcome to access the Citadel. The larder, the kitchens, are to the north, along with the boss's cabin. Don't enter the cabin, otherwise you'll get killed. We'll have another recruit take them to the cages. In the meantime, you can join us in the Great Hall to get some food. There are some bunks over there. I'll assign you to the west bunk. He points behind him. Pointing behind him, he says, "Yeah, there's what we call a crane up there. You can enter through the crane, and then you can descend the ladder and the crane to enter the main citadel. Take a left, and you'll enter a guard room, and then go south, and you'll enter the Great Hall. One of the rooms to the north of that is the bunks that I've assigned you to. You'll see many other promising recruits there. As for this individual, what is your name, Miss Opportunity?" Pointing at Priscilla.
I am the Lady Priscilla of House Theron, and you shall address me as my lady. If you even dare think that you can just strap me into one of those cages as if I'm some captive, you will bring such indignity to my house, and it will be far worse for you and your comrades.
I got to take out my rapier. I put that on her throat.
"Well, Miss Priscilla of House Unknown, you have no power here, unless, of course, you have a reason for us to let you go."
You mean aside from bearing the full wrath of my house upon this little camp of yours?
"Yes."
As if I need to waste any words on scum of your kind.
"Georgie, Vlad, take them to the cages. You know where. Harm." And one of the guards finally comes down with a new uniform for you. We'll say this archer comes down to bring that uniform for you. And he straps you into a new uniform, and there's a distinct emblem on it. "Here is that new uniform, sir. You've earned it. Report to your bunks. Remember, you are not to guard the prisoners." Kenneth, Sorry, not Kenneth. He points at Kenneth. He points at Valake. Vlad and Georgie, you guys are going to do that. Understood? Guard the prisoners.
Yeah.
All right. You're dismissed. Go to bed. And,
Good night.
and everyone he kind of walks away into his tent. Oh, sorry, he follows you. He follows Harm. But you guys are kind of going up there. Go ahead and go north.
Kind of turn around and give a quizzical look at the other three as I'm walking away.
No funny business, missy.
Ryan, yeah, get out of the way. We have a new opportunity coming in here. We have a fresh recruit. His name is Harm. I just gave him his emblem. He's a badass. He'll kill you where you stand, so don't mess with him. He's not to guard the prisoners, though. If you see that, spread the word, okay? He's not to do that until he goes on his first mission. Then we'll pay him handsomely. Where you? And he kind of looks back. Harm, where you going, man? Come over here.
I'll follow follow Corcus.
All right, come on over, Harm. Vlad and Georgie, just take him north. He kind of opens the door for you guys. Take him north. You'll see the cages. It's pretty obvious.
Thanks.
Harm, come on
Thanks,
over.
boss.
I'll show you to your bunk.
I'll go where he tells me to go. I'll go to my bunk.
So what he does is
Get in there, you elf.
and as yeah, and yeah, he shows you to your bunk, and he'll say, "All right, there's your bunk. Feel free to get some rest there. I'm gonna call it a night." And he kind of walks away.
Okay. Which room does Priscilla enter?
And we'll kind of pan back to Kenneth and Valake and Priscilla. So you enter a room. It looks like there's an archer there, heavily wounded, but kind of asleep, dozing off. This looks like an armory. It has some spears, some swords.
Oh, so it's just me, Valake, and Kenneth, and a wounded archer in this room.
He's
I'm gonna-
dozing off.
And is no one else like right outside the door?
Do you see anyone?
I do not.
Okay,
I'm just
then
gonna
you don't see anyone.
Then very well. It's at this moment that Priscilla's still putting on a bit of a fuss, but right before Priscilla is thrown into a room, Priscilla will grab a dagger, or will unsheath the rapier, and in a quick flash, cut the throat of this brigand.
And he dies.
Whew. I was beginning to think that you guys were enjoying your roles a bit too much.
If
Ah,
I wanted to have more fun, I could have smacked you, but I was being nice.
well, was that an option? Oh, goddammit. Once again, I missed the fun.
Yeah, out of character, since now that we're isolated, we can come up with a better plan, which is now relayed by Priscilla.
Who goes there? As someone opened the door. And as you shut the door, you hear a bustling of footsteps north.
Oh, shit. Priscilla was about to say that she was not gonna spend any unnecessary time getting into this performance, and will try to free the child and get Harm back with us, but let's see how this resolves.
Alright, we got the prisoner over here.
What's going on here? You see someone kind of go in. He's dressed in a red bandana, has a leather armor on. Looks like he's a
Alright.
little bit roughed up, bruises.
As I said, we got a prisoner over here.
Prisoner, huh? Bring him with the other one. And he goes
Oh,
over.
come on.
Come on over. And he goes over here. He's gonna unlock this with a key that he has on him. And he's gonna open the door. Come on in. Now, as you enter, wait, something happens. You see an elf sitting by the fireplace, by the great hearth. As you walk through the room, a slender young high elf catches your eye. She wears fine clothes and a traveling cloak. She is writing in a journal. Your eyes meet for a moment, and then she returns to her writing. Okay, that's it.
Oh, does this character look similar to the rest of the brigands, or do they seem to also be a captive?
This person looks very different than the rest of the brigands. Clothes are cut of a much higher quality, and she is a high elf, and all of these people are, they're not high elves. They are either half elves with the archers, some of them are half elves, and all the other ones are humans.
Priscilla will try to get eye contact with this high elf.
She is busy writing. She does not notice you, unless you do something more.
You really gonna let them treat a fine lady such as yourself to hold you captive, and then bear me into their torture chamber?
Shut up, you! And I'm just gonna toss Priscilla in.
Right, Priscilla, I want you to give me a charisma check with advantage.
Charisma check with advantage. Okay.
Was that guy with the red bandana the only one kind of wounded, or are the other two looking kind of roughed up?
Okay. She notices you, and she notices you. She looks at you for a second, and she seems a little bit agitated, but she doesn't say anything. As for your question, the guard with the key is a little bit roughed up. The other person is also a little roughed up, but they're not bleeding. They seem a bit tired, a bit weary. All right, here's the cages, and he takes his key and he opens up the cage, and you see in there is an infant lizard folk, unconscious, barely breathing in the corner. He opens up the cages, says, "All right, throw them in."
Just before, as we're passing by, especially the table, do any of these implements, these torture implements, look as though they can be used as a dagger?
Yes.
Just before, just as Priscilla's about to walk towards this cage that's now been opened, she's going to take one of these dagger-shaped objects and plunge it at the throat of the torturer.
Okay. Okay. I want you to give me an attack with advantage with the dagger.
Out of
Okay.
character.
I don't have a dagger, but we can use the attack roll of a rapier if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Out of character, I was gonna do something, but you wanted to do violence, so we'll do violence.
Okay. Well, that's gonna hit. I want you to. He goes
And
down. Dies.
Priscilla quickly tosses him on the floor and says, "Vlucky, get the other brigand."
Now I want everyone to roll initiative. That following the desperate surprise dagger strike at his capture, Priscilla was able to dispatch one of the guards, throwing the northern citadel into disarray. But in the west, Harm is making his way out of his bunk. We go to Parm. What are you doing?
I'm gonna look around on the bunk I'm at. Are there other people in the room?
Yes, there are 3 other people. They're sleeping in the bunk.
Oh, they're asleep. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna try to quietly get to my feet and try to creep to the door I came through, and I'm gonna try to quietly open the door.
Okay. There was a guard there that was awake and kind of just sharpening his spear.
Sounds good.
You open it.
I'll be ready. I'll be expecting him.
He doesn't really pay you any attention. He's still sharpening his spear.
All right. In that case, I'm just gonna walk past him, and I'm gonna begin heading towards the place or the direction I think that the rest of the group went. At least I'm gonna try to head to where we were before.
Okay.
And if anyone approaches me, if I see anybody, this time I'm just walking straight up. I'm not trying to act natural, basically.
Gotcha. So as you go to the place where you separated from the group, and you open a door, you see what appears to be a dead brigand, a dead archer.
What sort of room is it that he's dead in?
So it is a room filled with weapons. So there's a hammer, there's some spears, there's some swords. It looks like it's an armory. He had his bow and arrows like on the table. He is dead, bleeding out on the ground.
Is there a lot of blood, or is it on his corpse for the most part?
There is a lot of blood. He's dead, and the door
Is there-
behind you is open still.
Is there a towel? I'm gonna hurry and close the door I just came through. I'm gonna look around the room and see if there's any sort of towel or anything I could use to mop up blood that's handy.
There is nothing but weapons and a little fireplace in the corner. It's a little cauldron with embers in it like wood.
Should there be equipment to using with weapons to maintenance them?
No, there's nothing like that in this room.
Okay.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to kind of scratch my head, and then is there any barrels in this room?
There are no barrels in this room. It's just 4 wooden chairs, a wooden table, 3 racks with weapons on them, and then there's a bucket with firewood in it. that's
Gotcha.
lit.
And how many? Is there just one more door other than the one I came through, or is it a passage?
So there's a double-decker door that you just came through to get into this, and then there's one double-decker door that leads north and one double-decker door that leads east.
Okay, and I haven't been in. This is my first time being in this room, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna listen to the door at the east.
Okay. You open the double-decker doors, and inside you see the armory. There are a lot of boxes, wooden boxes, a lot of crates. There appears to be crossbows, arrows, short bows, shields, and a whole bunch of fresh castle-forged weapons in this room.
I'm gonna close that. Oh, is there more?
That is it.
I'm gonna close that door as well, and I can now. It seems like I've loaded into the map, so I can move around. So the doors to my north, these are the doors I just came through. Is that right?
Yes, those are the doors you came through.
You came in through the doors in the south. You've yet to open or inspect what's beyond the doors to the north.
All right. In that case, I'm going to close the door to the armory. I'm going to head back to the only doors I haven't opened yet, and I'm going to casually open the doors.
Okay. Feel free to move yourself over there.
It's these doors, right?
Yep. The northern doors.
Oh, so this room I'm in now is the armory, the initial armory that you described with the dead man.
Yep. Exactly.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. And as you enter in, you hear the chaotic bustle of someone bleeding out and screaming, and you're going to join the initiative. So let me throw you.
Heck
in.
yeah.
And go ahead and roll initiative, please.
And what am I seeing here?
You see. Oh, you hear this, and then you hear, and then you see this guard over here jump up from his sitting position, looking over there. You see Malake and Malake and Kenneth are clearly surprised, and the high elf there, is just like scratching her head in disappointment.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was the bad guy. I didn't know that was the high elf. I thought the high elf was in the room to the left.
Well, now we know. All right, I'm ready.
All right. So the high elf is going to move first. She is going to get up elegantly, and she is going to draw her rapier, but she's not going to do anything beside that. She has a ready to action.
Right. I'm going to barge into the room, drawing my sword, and I'm going to. So are my allies? Are they like? Do they have weapons drawn and they're like fighting, or what?
They have
Is
no
it
weapons.
just
They have no weapons drawn right now.
I'm gonna rush up to the bandit here. So I moved to this space. I'm not sure if my token actually moved there because I'm lagging again, but I moved there. I'm gonna draw my sword and point it at the bandit's throat and say, "Don't move." And I'm readying my attack. If he attempts to draw his weapon, I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and draw my glaive. I don't know if that's a movement, bonus action, whatever.
Yep,
Draw
it's
the
free
weapon.
action.
Free action. And I'm gonna go ahead, move here, and I'll go ahead and ready action as well, just in case. I'll ready an action in case because he already got one for harm. I'll ready action in case anyone else tries anything, like someone else comes in. If anyone tries to walk by, I'll try to attack if the enemy.
Gotcha. You have ready action to attack any enemy that walks within your attack radius. Okay. Priscilla.
All right. She believes that her friends have things that are of danger under control. She will then go over to the unconscious body of the juvenile lizard folk and give a quick inspection as to the status of its health.
Give me a medicine check with advantage.
With advantage. You got it.
The lizard folk infant is battered and bruised. She is unconscious, but alive and stable. She's been banished. Looks like she's in pretty good health considering.
If she can do something else on her turn, she will spend the rest of her turn trying her best to wake it up. Not super desperately, like shaking her, but we'll try to nudge her awake.
Okay, so this is an infant. Like imagine a baby. So tell me, describe how you do this.
So if this is just straight up just a baby, Priscilla will stroke the top of its head gently as she can, but trying to get it awake.
Okay, give me a medicine check with advantage.
All right.
Or survival. Decide.
We will go with medicine.
Okay. Your stroking wakes her up, and she looks at you, and then And she begins crying. Ah, really loud. She begins crying and crying and weeping, and it's making a lot of noise.
Priscilla will just bundle the infant to her chest, picking it up, and do her damage to try and just kind of like coddle and rock it, so that way it can try to be somewhat calm.
Okay, we'll do that next round because we're gonna go to the bandit, the foolish bandit.
Sure thing.
It's Kenneth's turn, by the way.
Oh yes, Kenneth, go ahead.
I'm going to go here and drag this body in this other room.
Okay, I'll drag it over.
Yeah.
There's a blood trail.
Well, yeah, well, no. Well, we can clean that up, but still. That's my action, basically. And I'm going to take out my rapier as a free action.
Okay, you got it. So you leave one of the doors open. Is that the case?
Well, the one behind me, yeah.
Okay.
And I try to put the body in this corner, so it's not immediately in. So.
Oh, you got it. I'll put it over there.
Okay, good.
All right. If you're done, the bandit is gonna look at Harm. He's gonna freeze, and then he looks at Kenneth with that glaive ready. He's gonna start shaking. He's gonna make a decision.
I think he just cut out a bit. Or maybe
Yeah, I think he cut out.
Okay. So the guard is shaking and looking fearful, both at Harm and at Balake. Looking at the body, Kenneth just drag in. He's looking even more afraid. But then he gathers his courage, and at the top of his lungs, he shouts. What does he shout, Harm? What does he shout, Henry?
Oh, what the? I don't think he shouts anything because my sword gets rammed down his throat as soon as he starts to open his mouth.
He didn't move. He didn't move. He didn't say.
That's true. No. But the bandit shouts. I think he shouts, "They're attacking us, guards!"
And immediately there is a bustle of voices, of footsteps all around the fortress. It's back on the high elf, who doesn't do anything. She's just standing there looking at you guys, still looking very disappointed. Harm, it's your go.
Yes,
I
I should have
immediately
put my rapier to his throat.
I immediately tried to behead the bandit that just shouted.
Okay, go ahead, roll an attack. He has a dodge action. That's what he did instead of moving.
Ah. I should have disadvantage then on this.
Yes, you do. Go ahead and 14.
Roll it again?
Yeah, roll it again. 14 would hit. Unfortunately, he is dodging. He's trying to dodge.
Yeah. Ah.
He dodges it.
And then I'm gonna... Oh no, that's it for me. That's all I'm doing.
All right.
I'm gonna try to attack. I'm guessing disadvantage as well.
Yes, he is dodging.
Okay. Disadvantage. I did not mean to do the damage. It did it itself.
That's fine. It automatically does it. 13 with disadvantage. 13 will hit, actually. And tell me how you finish him.
As he screams, instead of... Well, I was just going to do what Harm did. I'm just going to go ahead, instead of chopping his head off, just, slash his throat. And I don't know if this counts as a free action. I want to go ahead and try to yell, try to see if I can convince the guards that it was an attack. I'm going to be like, "Boss alarm! He just woke up from a nightmare!"
Okay, give me role play it out. Tell me exactly what you say.
So after he gets killed, I'm gonna quickly look, and I'm gonna make sure no guards are coming, and I'm gonna quickly just yell, don't mind him. He was having a nightmare. Jeffrey has those night terrors that we've been hearing about lately. It's okay. We put him back to sleep. He shouldn't make any more noise. Go back to your duties.
Okay. You don't need to roll, but you there's still some. You still hear footsteps around you. You still hear people waking up. All right, back on you guys. You don't need to maintain you don't need to go into your combat tracker anymore. You can move around as you wish. The high elf is still standing there, still disappointed, but not doing anything.
I'm gonna look over her and kind of tap my sword on the edge of the hearth and say, "You just want to leave with the baby. Are you gonna let us do that?
What you do is none of my concern.
Are you a prisoner here too?"
does he look like a prisoner? You moron.
There are
Uh,
many kinds of prisons.
The esteemed individuals I represent and their purpose are confidential. I am no prisoner here, and I have no interest in engaging in conversation with individuals of your status. And she kind of looks you up and down with scorn. Harm.
I know your type. What's the plan?
Wally.
I say to my group.
Well, we've secured the child, which, by the way, is the infant still going nuts, or is
Yeah.
Or okay. Priscilla is not an expert in this, but she will do her damnedest to calm the child down by, again, still coddling and rocking it, but sitting next to the fire, so that way it's at least warm.
Gotcha. With the fire helping you out, she's going to instantly fall asleep, so she's not going to make that.
Well, that's something. We've secured the child, but we need to get those supplies, but I doubt that will be easy. It's not exactly like carrying a baby to get all those supplies. What would be our next course of action?
Probably die.
Shall we move to the fortress and kill them all? Not for that.
I suppose that would be the easy way to secure those supplies with no threats to have us. Or these are brigands. They're men of money, of plunder, and they have their leader, that Osros. If we kill him, they have no reason to stay. It's not like they're on payroll.
You don't think that they have... Brigands cannot have friendships, loyalty, even honor, at even a small amount of honor.
Kind of varies. If the leader treats their men well, then the men might be loyal. Not all bandit captains treat their men well, though.
He seemed decent one. I quite liked him.
You hear footsteps to your south, Kenneth.
By the
Good
way, I'm standing by this door frame with my sword ready, kind of crouching in the shadows.
Quickly, someone put barrels in front of the doors.
Blood! There's blood on the ground here! You hear shouting from the south. And it's
Yeah,
getting
man.
dragged to the north! Toward the Great Heart!
Yeah, I
So
start
you-
running away and try to open this door over here.
Okay, you can click on it.
I'm gonna look at the high elf lady prisoner, whatever the hell she is now, because we don't know. And I'm just gonna say, listen, princess, if you stay here, they're most likely gonna blame you and kill you on the spot. If you at least come with us, we can get you out, then you can go on your merry way. We'll even give you some gold, because you look like someone that likes money.
She scowls at you, and she doesn't respond.
Wasting your breath. Let's go around this way. Maybe we'll head him off.
All right, you lead the way, Harm.
And then, Kenneth, when you were up there, to the north, then we tried to open that door, it was locked, but
Oh,
there was footsteps on the other side of it, and it's actually getting unlocked. Do you hear
I'm just gonna,
a key unlock that door?
the hinges are like, which way it's going to open? Back or front?
Good question. It opens into the room.
Oh, okay, well, then I cannot really hide. Try to open. There's something going on over here.
Okay, you
Like
shout.
that, I'm gonna.
You shout that
Run.
over to your companions.
No, I got to turn to the door.
Oh, you talk to the door.
Yeah, danger going on around here. Somebody's shouting something about nightmares. I do not know what's going on over here. Just try to sound confused.
I'll handle it. All right. So cutting back to Balake, Priscilla. What are you guys doing? Harm, what are you doing?
So as soon as he says that, I close the door that I was about to walk through. And is this like a banister here?
It's like a handguard, wooden handrail.
Should I like climb over it, or is
Yeah.
it too high?
You can climb over it.
I'm gonna climb over it next to Kenneth. And does Priscilla have a ranged weapon on her?
Yeah, Priscilla still has her hand crossbow.
I'm gonna say to nod. I'm gonna say quietly to and like a whisper to Kenneth. Open the door on my signal. Are you ready, Priscilla? I gesture to a crossbow.
Yeah, holding the baby in one arm and holding the hand crossbow in the other, she aims it towards the door that you guys are next to.
All right, I'm gonna. If Velaki seems like he's ready as well, I'm
I'm
going
not
to
even.
give my signal to Kenneth to open the door, and I've got my sword ready. I'm gonna try
It's
to attack
locked.
whoever's on
I
the other
cannot
side.
open it. It's literally locked. I cannot open from it this side. You can see it yourself. And I'm not talking. I'm saying this out of character because I'm going to note at the door and point at the lock.
Bitch, son of a bitch. Oh my
Jesus
god!
Christ!